What is going on, guys? Welcome, Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this. What's going on, Flip? Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's do this. All right, so good morning, guys. CPI day. We're going to be dropping CPI report here in the next 12 minutes, I believe. I haven't even checked to see. I believe it drops this morning at 8:30. Yeah, I believe it drops at 8:30, so we'll see how this plays out. Bitcoin right now having a little bit of a nice little move towards the upside. Yesterday, saw a lot of people scared. Bitcoin dropped down to about 108,000. Nice little drop from the trend. You can see we didn't necessarily come down to this support level at 100,006 right here. A little bit before, seeing a nice little bounce. Obviously, a nice W pattern that formed as we kind of hit a double bottom before breaking out again. So looks good. You can see obviously even after you see big moves towards the downside, we still see a lot of buyers coming in and just eating up the dips for right now. So just 3 weeks ago, buying Bitcoin at 80, maybe 90,000 was a good buy for a lot of people. Now we break down to 101,000 and buyers are looking at that as a good buy. So strong support around that 101, we'll say 101,000 mark for right now. So things don't look bad as far as that. We are waiting for the CPI report to drop in about 10 minutes. Looking at the Fed meetings that we have coming up in over a month, these probably will fluctuate, but it looks like in June, looks like we're still calling for a pause. Depending on what the CPI report comes out today, I think this is going to shift a little bit. If we do get some good inflation numbers today, as in like inflation's coming down, right now they're calling for basically inflation year over year forecast to be at 2.4%. You can see previous is at 2.4%, so not a big change. Obviously, no change at all. They're really just looking for some kind of a flat line with inflation year over year. Core inflation looks like it's supposed to come up slightly, right? Because this is month over month. You're going to see a little bit more fluctuations versus year over year versus month over month, right? And then that's the core. You have regular inflation rate month over month, again coming a little bit higher. And then core inflation year over year staying the same at around 2.8%. So we'll see how this plays out. I think it's like hit or miss right now. We saw the sell-off yesterday. I don't know if that was necessarily because of the CPI report, because if you really think about the stock market, yesterday the stock market absolutely went freaking insane. I mean, I don't think we've seen a bounce in the stock market like that in a while, where the NASDAQ is up over 4%, S&P was up 3.26%, and the Dow Jones up almost 3% right now. Let's actually pull up the S&P futures. We're going to keep an eye on that to see. As the CPI report drops, I want to see if any fluctuations are going to happen with the S&P futures right here. So you can see the S&P futures kind of sitting around where it was. It's a little bit up as of today, slightly up from today. Yesterday, we covered this in a members only stream. Breaking above this 5840 area was a big spot for the S&P, right? It was a big spot, basically breaking out of this downward trend so far, right? We haven't gotten up to all-time highs as of now, but you can see we basically had a beautiful V-shaped recovery as of now, breaking above that 5840 area, and now it looks like the S&P is finding it as support, right? So you can see it came back to retest. Looks like it's finding it as support as of now. So this could be potentially the beginning of a big move where S&P could easily break all-time highs in the next few weeks coming. So we'll see how that plays out. Bill, what's going on, brother? What is going on, guys? Good morning is what I should be saying. Good morning to everybody. But typically what we're seeing right now for Bitcoin particularly is a little bit of a drop right before the CPI report drops, right? We have 7 minutes until it comes out. You can see we came up, hit our head at around that 103.8 area. That is a big spot for some resistance. This is if you go back just a week ago when Bitcoin was above 104, pretty much the last like probably 5 or 6 days, you can see this was a spot that we bounced off of multiple times, right? Multiple times bouncing off that area, and now it is resistance as of now, right? I think if we continue to keep coming back up to retest this area, eventually we will break above. So we'll see what happens here. A lot of times, what's crazy is the CPI report would drop, or right before the CPI report drops, I mean like 2 or 3 minutes, you'll see the markets start really fluctuating, and it's like almost like some people are getting information before the actual numbers drop, and you'll start seeing usually indications like, let's say the CPI report's going to be good, you'll see Bitcoin will start mooning, right? Like literally 2 minutes before the CPI report, and vice versa. If it seems like it's going to be a bad report, you'll start seeing it dropping down. That's not necessarily what we're seeing right now. What you're seeing right now is people kind of getting out of trades for right now, maybe taking profits from these drops right here, waiting to see what's going to happen with the CPI report for today. Me personally, I said this in the Discord earlier this morning. I think regardless, whatever the CPI report drops today, I think it's going to be a nothing burger as far as with Bitcoin. I guarantee, let's just say we have a bad report and inflation kind of comes up today on the numbers. I think you'll see maybe a small drop in Bitcoin, and then within a few hours, you'll see Bitcoin right back up, like it just gets brushed right off, So I don't think that it's going to be a big deal, personally, for the crypto market, but we'll see how it goes. Looking at the daily for today, you guys can see pretty much across the board, light red, right? Obviously, with the big sell-off that we saw yesterday, the big retracement. Pi Network. If you guys, we talked about this in the members only stream yesterday. This thing was up massively, I think 50% yesterday, and look at this big drop, 25% down as of today. To me, it seems like a little bit of manipulation on the Pi right there, because it just seemed like that was a massive drop in on that project just for the daily. So we have about 4 minutes until the CPI report drops. Real quick, I did want to cover a couple things. So whale accumulation suggests Bitcoin could be eyeing 110,000 even as retail capitulates. So let's see here. So Bitcoin may be setting its sight on $110,000 mark as large holders ramp up accumulation despite small investors taking profits amid macro tailwinds. Wallets that hold between 10 and 10,000 Bitcoin, often referred to as whales and sharks, have amassed more than 83,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days, according to a May 13 post on X. In contrast, 387 Bitcoin were offloaded from wallets holding less than 0.1 Bitcoin during that period. So you see the comparison. They're saying that retail sold about 400 Bitcoin versus at the same time, it looks like the anybody that's holding 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin in any particular wallet, those wallets accumulated 83,000 Bitcoin. These movements, though seemingly small for retail, are significant when measured relative to the total Bitcoin held by each group. Let's see here. Sentiment noted that small investors, including tiers slightly larger than 0.1 Bitcoin, are showing signs of profit taking, likely anticipating a local top. In contrast, the ongoing accumulation by large holders suggests a confidence in further upside. This may push Bitcoin towards $110,000 level, marking a new all-time high. Bears are cooked, Bill said. So one thing I will say, I was watching someone else's stream yesterday. I think it was George. It was somebody, and I saw a lot of people asking, should they take profits? This was yesterday. Should they take profits? Should they take profits? And I was like thinking, I'm like, because obviously that's retail, right? A lot of retail. I think retail, they're still spooked, thinking that that this is what we've seen in the last few weeks is at some point going to end, and we're probably going to start dropping back down. And it's like, I don't know where I fall in on that, because I do believe that Bitcoin is probably going to continue to move up. But at the same time, you always have that thought in your mind, like, you're going to wake up and we're going to be down like crazy, and it's going to just start beginning of, those, if it's a few days or a few weeks or even a few months of some downward movement, right? It seems like things have been so good in the last few weeks that it's just like you're always anticipating that there's going to be some kind of a reversal at some point. So I don't think, we talked about this on the members only stream. I actually gave my prediction on what's going on right now, where I think we're going to top, when I think we're going to top, right? I personally, just not getting too much into it because I covered this on the members only stream, but I do think things are different this 4-year cycle. Obviously things are different, but I do think that I don't think we're going to be topping out exactly like we did in 2021. We'll just leave it like that for right now. So, but I do think that bulls are definitely still in power right now, and they're definitely running. We got about 1 minute until the CPI report drops. Let's see what's going to happen here. I always like to jump on like the 1 minute or the 5 minute just because it gets a lot very dramatic. So let's see. We're on the 5 minute here. Let's see what happens here. We got about 1.5 minutes left. Looking to see if Twitter's got anything for us. Nothing. Kind of quiet today for Twitter. All right, guys. We got literally less than a minute until the CPI report drops. Let's see. I believe it, right, 12:30 Universal Time, right? 1036. 12:30. No. 4:30? No, that can't be right. That just can't be right. Is it dropping? It can't be. It usually drops in the morning. Bro, look. Am I tripping or did this... Oh, hold on here. All right, it dropped. You see all the fluctuations? Let's see. All right, here we go. I was getting scared. All right, so core inflation just dropped. It actually came out, the month over month came out a lot better than expected. Forecast was 0.3. We actually dropped to 0.2. Core inflation year over year came out expected 2.8%. Looks like inflation rate month over month. Forecast 0.3, it came out to 0.2. And it looks like inflation rate year over year 2.4. Look at that. Came out actually a lot better than expected, guys. Inflation came out a lot better than expected. You can see Bitcoin just spiked up to 103.9 just now. So that looks great. Let's look at these numbers one more time here. So actual, again, year over year, 2.4. It was forecast to be 2.4 again. It came out better than that, 2.3%. Core inflation rate month over month was forecast to actually come up to 0.3. It only came up to 0.2, which was great. It beat forecasts. And then again, year over year, core inflation stayed the same at around 2.8. And let's see here, inflation rate month over month actually came out better than what it was expected. So today's core inflation, or today's just inflation year over year and month over month came out actually very good today. Very, very good today. So you're going to see these swings as of now, right? You're going to see these swings as of now. The market's kind of just leveling it all out, seeing what's happened. Let's check. I want to see something on the S&P. Let's just zoom in on the S&P and see if there's any reactions. This is the S&P futures. It looks like it's starting to move up as well for the stock market. So it looks like, from what it looks like, right? Because you guys know things can change in literally a minute. It looks like as of now, the market is going to probably open up green today. And as the looks of Bitcoin right now, it looks like they're happy. Investors are happy right now. Koktoshi, what's going on, bro? Said he's getting ready for a rip. We need to break this this 103.8 area right here. We need to break above this and find it as support. Look at that, right when I said that. right when I said that. Why do we need to break above this area? Well, this area, you guys can see, this was an area that we basically in the last few days or in the last week, this has been an area that we've had as support while we were breaking above 104 or 105 area. So you can see as of now, very big spot that's just giving us hell right now, right? You can see, I mean, we keep trying to break above and then we keep getting rejected. But like I said earlier, if we keep retesting that area, right? If we keep retesting, this is on the 15-minute. We've already tested it once, twice, 3 times right here. If we keep retesting this area and especially having that support at 103.5 right under it, we're going to break above this. It's inevitable. Let's see what Ethereum's doing here. Ethereum not looking bad, 2,500. Let me zoom out of this 5-minute chart. Oh, okay. It's you guys, so we did this in our members only stream. This is an area for Ethereum that we consolidated a lot before we dropped. And I was expecting that we're probably going to come in this consolidation zone pretty much, where the top of it would be somewhere around 28. Bottom will be somewhere around that 25.3, but it looks like as of now, it's actually a resistance zone, the bottom of this consolidation zone. If you can see, this is the 0.5, I believe, right? Yeah, 0.5 fib retracement on Ethereum. Looks like we have support, but we're hitting our head at the bottom of this consolidation zone right here, somewhere around the 25.30 area. So, excuse me. If you guys are just joining and you're wondering what the hell is going on with the market, well, CPI report just dropped. All the numbers came out great today. Inflation technically, depending on how you're looking at it, year over year has been pretty much staying steady at around 2.8. Remember, the Feds are looking for a 2% inflation rate, right? That right there is their definition of a healthy economy, 2% year over year, right? So we're at 2.8. Remember, but we've come down from over 9% inflation rate just 2 years ago, right? Just 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, we were at 9% inflation. We've dropped down all the way down to 2.8%. So, I mean, it looks good. I think that this last 0.8% is going to be hell, really dropping the inflation, especially right now with certain things going on. But at some point, I do think that we're going to get very close to that. And that's pretty much what the Feds are looking for, to be comfortable with really reducing interest rates at a rapid pace, right? And that's obviously what we're looking for in regards to investors, stance, because that would be nothing but perfect for the markets when the Feds start easing and start reducing interest rates. So Hernandez said NFK. What's going on with NFK today? She running? Nothing yet. She's not looking bad. Yesterday, or what was it, 2 days ago, she was up like 11, 12%. So we've been talking as a group. We're going to try to set up some group buys and stuff like that. We need to get out of this channel right here. Anything else running for today? Pepe's up 3%. Ladies is up 2.5%. Let me see here. Nothing really going crazy right now. If we go to the hourly, you'll see green for right now. You'll see Brett up 1%, Jasmine, Lido. Everything's up about 1% right now. The weekly, you look at the weekly though, this right here plays the picture. If you look at this weekly, it shows you alts have been doing fantastic. I mean, obviously Bitcoin has been doing great as well. But I mean, look at this. WIF's up 119%. Pepe's up 83%. Floki's up 53%. Brett's up 65%. Doge 38%. Ethereum. Freaking Ethereum up 42% right now. Radium 44%. Absolutely. I mean, just across the board, it's like everything's up at least 30-40%. Shiba lagging, but still doing really well. 26%. Bunk 39%. Arbitrum doing great. I mean, this looks great. This is just for the top 100 projects. I'm sure if we started going down the list, there's probably a lot more. ADA, Cardano up 23%, Fetch 28%. So, I mean, the weekly looks great. Let's check the, monthly looks even better. Holy crap. Look at that. Freaking monthly. Brett up 180%, virtual 260%. Pengu 160%, Pepe killing at almost 100%. Ethereum, that's the craziest because Ethereum it's such a big market cap and it's up 58% in the last month. Absolutely insane. If you guys are just joining, welcome. Just a quick run. Inflation numbers did drop about 8 minutes ago. It feels like it's been already 15 minutes, but 8 minutes ago. And just to like a quick scope of it, everything came out great. Everything came out great, lower than expected, or it met expectations on the year over year. So today, I think we are going to be seeing the markets opening up in the green as far as stock markets as well. We already were in the green for S&P futures, but I think it's going to be doing a lot better than what it was. Bitcoin right now, we were talking about this. Excuse me. Bitcoin right now struggling. I'm not going to say struggling, but it is competing right now, breaking this 103.8 area. This 103.850 area is a big spot that is basically having as some resistance. It keeps breaking above and then basically coming below. I have a feeling this thing is going to, look at this on the 5 minute. It actually, look at that, 5 minute, it's found support at around the 103.8 area. So it looks like as of now, if you're looking at the 5 minute, this looks like this thing is about to, it definitely found some support. As I said that, look at that. Looks like it found some support as of now. We'll probably start lifting off. Remember, this is a key area to break. This has been an area right here that we actually were basically finding as support when we were running up to 103, 105. I'm sorry, 104, 105 area for Bitcoin. This is where we kept bouncing and running up. So this is going to be an area that we definitely want to watch and make sure that we can hold as some support. If we can hold this support, we're definitely going to continue to move up for today. So things look great today. Obviously, CPI report helping out. I said earlier, honestly, I think CPI report was a big nothing burger just because, the numbers didn't look like it was going to be a big fluctuation, whether we were going to be down or up on CPI reports. So even if we would have had a bad CPI report, I think the markets probably would have been around where they're at right now. And in a few hours, it would have been just forgotten and we would have been moving naturally. So since we bottomed out, you can see, obviously, we have a nice little trend, right? Nice little trend, trend your friend. And we are coming and making higher lows as we start moving. So is this going to be what we needed? Did we need that little move towards the downside yesterday to kind of flush out maybe those weak hands? Potentially, right? Potentially. So we'll see how this goes. As of now, the local high for Bitcoin is at around 105.7, depending on what chart you're looking at. I saw some that said 105.9. So somewhere around that 105.7, 105.9 area is going to be the local top for right now. So we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, that 105.3 area is a big spot for some resistance as we move up. This was just a quick little run when we had this nice little spurt towards the upside, and then we almost immediately broke down right below it. So I'm sure as we move back up, we'll probably retest this area a few times before breaking above. So, but things look good today, guys. I think we're gonna have a nice green day today. So we'll definitely come back later on. We'll have a later on evening stream today. If not, we'll definitely have one tomorrow. I like these morning streams just to kind of get the day started. If you guys are just jumping in here, again, the CPI report dropped and everything came out great. A little bit below expected. We were expected to maybe come up a little bit. We did just a tick, but not where forecast. We beat forecasts. Year over year, we kind of stayed flat at around 2.8% inflation. So the markets are liking it. We're going to see what today brings. If we do see maybe some red today, it's to be expected. I'm expecting us to move up, but I've seen wacky days where we've had good CPI reports and the markets just like after a few hours, they start turning red for whatever freaking reason. So I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, if you guys remember just yesterday, we dropped down from 104 all the way down to 100,000. And look, we're right back up, literally right under 104. So there's just a lot of interest right now in the markets. Altcoins yesterday were doing fantastic. We're having a little bit of a cool off today in alts, but that should show you how fast alts are going to absolutely rocket when the recipe is right for altcoin season. So we're not there yet. Bitcoin dominance for right now. Let's see here. So Bitcoin dominance for right now, yesterday and the day before, we were dropping like crazy. As of now, dominance has found some support, unfortunately, on this freaking trend line that we've pretty much been on this trend line since the end of 2022, right? So it's been almost 3 years that dominance has been staying on this trend line, right? It broke below slightly, and this is when alts were going crazy, probably like last year, around December of 2024, so about 6 months ago. But then, we ran right back up, and as of now, you can see we have dropped down considerably from these highs being around 65.4%, but you can see we are literally bouncing off the trend that we've had here for the last 2 years. So we definitely want to see dominance drop. Doesn't mean Bitcoin's price is going to drop. This just means that a lot of money is not only flying strictly into Bitcoin, but it's also flowing across the board into a lot of alts, meme coins, and stuff like that. So we want to see dominance drop. Obviously, we want to see Bitcoin stay strong as well. So it will happen at some point. It's not happening right now. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Quick stream. CPI report doing great. Markets should be green today. Bitcoin right now, 1037. 1037 right now. You guys can see we can't break above and stay above this level as of yet. But I would imagine the stock market opens up today in the green. Now, the stock market yesterday was in the green like crazy while Bitcoin was dropping, right? That had me scratching my head a little bit just because we've been kind of correlating with the stock market as of the last few weeks, last few months. Stock market's been going down. We've been going down as well. Stock market was having a fantastic day, and Bitcoin was coming down a little bit. It was a little bit odd, but if you go back a week ago or 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin started to break out, the stock market wasn't doing shit. So it's like almost like they've decoupled now, and they're kind of doing their own thing. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing right now. So, I mean, for the most part, we always want to kind of decouple from the stock market and do our own thing, because usually, or what we would like to see is people, if the stock market's, starts to have a sell-off, come move your money over to crypto, right? It's a safe haven. But if they're running parallel, then everybody just sells out of everything, right? So we'll have to see how that plays out. But regardless, right now, Bitcoin's still not doing bad at all, 1037. We'll see what today brings, guys, all right? Other than that, make sure you guys slap the like, hit that subscribe. We will try to stream later on today. I normally do streams in the evening times, but my sister's birthday is today, so I am obligated to have to go to dinner tonight. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a stream during the day before. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow promptly around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys later or tomorrow. All right? See ya.